What's up, Vinyl Community? It's your boy Chris coming at you live, as always, from the man cave on a Tuesday afternoon before 5 o'clock. Really is nice to be off work, home, hanging out. I've already picked up my daughter from school for the day. Get to have dinner early, not at 8:30, 9 o'clock like I used to. So, even if I don't love the gig, I do love the schedule. So anyway, cheers to those of you who love your schedule. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day. Hope you guys have got some plans for the 4th of July weekend. It is really cool to have it on Friday this year. So anyway, I've been living, let's call it 15 minutes south of Rock Hill, South Carolina for the last 35, 36 years. Turned 40 this year. Record stores were not around when I was a teenager. Obviously, garage sales, thrift stores. That's how I was getting mine, and I was cleaning these things up $2, $3, $4, dollars a piece or whatever for like Led Zeppelin 4, the Beatles discography. I was cleaning them up. Now you can't get any of that shit for less than, let's call it $30. So those of you who've been following me around for a long time know that the focus of my collection is rare jazz pressings. It's the focus. A lot of people, I'm sure, assume that that's all I listen to. It's not. It's just what I most enjoy collecting on vinyl. You get on my Spotify playlist or whatever. I got Sabrina Carpenter and Chapel Roan and Olivia Rodrigo and Taylor Swift. I got that on my play. Then I got Prince and Jimi Hendrix and all the '90s grunge bands and all of the 2000s alternative. I've got all of that. Basically, as long as it ain't a mariachi band or a polka, I dig it. All it's got to do is have a decent beat, a nice rhythm, and some cool lyrics, and I'm down. So anyway, that being said, always wanted a record store, especially when the record stores really came back. Always wanted a record store in Rock Hill, and one opened about 10 years ago, but they were slack. They didn't honor their hours. They didn't keep up on social media. They would put signs on the door that says back in 15 minutes, and like 2 hours later, they still wouldn't be. So it's like, okay, back in 15 minutes, I'll go walk around the corner and grab lunch, and then I come back around the corner an hour later after I had lunch. Still lights out, still back in 15 minutes. I'm not gonna name the place. Let's just say they're no longer in business. It doesn't take long to go out of business, especially in a small town, if you don't honor your hours. They were overpriced. They didn't carry used at all. So I always tried to, the way I would float them some business would be if I wanted a new pressing, or if I wanted some MoFi sleeves or something like that, I'd float them some business. But then they got to the point where they were just too unreliable. And it's like, okay, I hate to do this. I'm going to give that business to Amazon. Because, I'm not driving an hour to Charlotte for MoFi sleeves. I'm not. So, anyway. Like I said, didn't last, but let's call it a year, maybe 2 ago. This little booth named Ramble Records opened up at the bottom of a boutique in Rock Hill, mostly clothes and stuff like that. But so I walked by one day, noticed Ramble Records on the glass window. I'm like, holy crap! So I go to the bottom, start digging around. They got solid stuff. And I've never been in and not bought something. That's most important. And I don't make myself buy something. There's always something good in there. So prices were nice. Everything was cool. And so I was like, okay, well, maybe if they do well enough, maybe they'll go brick and mortar. And they did do that, guys. About a month ago, they went brick and mortar right across the street from the old location. Beautiful spot, beautiful art on the wall, the whole nine. I finally got to meet the couple that run the place. Could not be nicer. They had a festival in town the day I went, and my daughter, of course, wanted, a slushie or whatever. And I go buy her a slushie, and I just asked the lady before I bought the slushie. I said, my daughter wants this slushie. I said, but, I want to be respectful. I know this is a new spot for you guys. Is it okay if she eats her slushie in your shop? And she's like, not only is it okay, but she can eat it over here on the couch, whatever, everything's good. Be our guest. And I'm like, oh man, so I already love these people. Anytime anybody can accommodate my little girl, you got my business forever. So get her slushie, go in. I start digging around. And leading back to the whole thing about those of you who've been following me around know that what my preferred thing to dig for and collect is old jazz records and rare jazz records. I traded a lot of classic rock titles, soul titles, rare, pressings and everything like this of these Japanese pressings, MoFis. I've traded a lot of those over the years to accumulate the rare jazz that I have. And now, this past year and a half, I've been wanting to go back and get all of these albums that I love so much because I always told myself I would, and I'm having a blast going back and reacquiring these titles. I'm not as much a stickler on pressing. I just want a fair price and a clean record because the music I already know I love. Fair price, clean record. Doesn't have to be, oh my God, original pressing with the such and such and the etching and the run out. It doesn't have to be all that. And it just doesn't. Not right now anyway. I might get back to that one day. I really just want the music on my favorite format, which is vinyl. So Ramble on Records has been helping me do a whole lot of that. And I go in, first time in a long time I've dug through every bin in a record shop. My normal style is I go in, look at the holy moly wall, and I usually make my picks from there. A lot of times I don't even bother with the bins, but I've gotten back to going through the bins again and having a decent amount of fun doing that, to be honest with you, because that's how I started out. But after a while, it just got to the point where I had all the common stuff, so I knew I wasn't going to find what I was looking for in the bins because I had it. But now that I don't have it anymore and I'm looking to reacquire it, back to the bins it is, and I'm having a blast. So anyway, I've already wasted enough time talking. I hope you guys haven't clicked off already. All right, so the first album that I picked up is Michael Jackson's Thriller. This is like the third or fourth copy I've had in my lifetime. Every copy I ever had was an original pressing, believe it or not. But you can always trade Michael Jackson's Thriller, and you can always get a decent price for it, even though it's sold 100 gazillion, batrillion, bafillion copies. And I'm going to tell you guys, every time I listen to this album in its entirety, you'll have a hard time convincing me that there are 9 albums ever made that are better. The songwriting's top notch. The production is top notch. There's a reason it sold all of these copies. What a genius. What a mastermind. What wonderful music despite anybody's. I always try to separate the artist, from the art. And regardless of what you believe or whatever, I don't know. I'm not going to go there. I love Thriller. It's a wonderful record. Next up, Dolly Parton, Touch Your Woman. Guys, I love Dolly Parton. I'm a Southern boy. She's our Southern queen. My family, this is no lie, once made a 4 or 5, 6 hour drive. It's like a pilgrimage, if you will, up to Sevierville, Tennessee, where Dolly and her family are from, to see her statue that they had, put up for her in her honor. And we went up there, saw the statue, had something to eat, came home, and all of us had a great time. This is a true story. Next up, Wham! Make it big. And some of you might be laughing, but if you saw my record collection, you wouldn't. Especially what I've been acquiring here lately. But of course, the late great George Michael, before he struck out and made it big solo. Guys, I actually love this entire record, but even if I didn't, I would buy it just because it has Careless Whisper on it. What a great tune. If you don't like Careless Whisper, I don't know what to do for you. Next up, The Who, Who's Next? It's just a classic. And to be honest with you guys, I'm not the biggest Who fan in the world. Like, a lot of people will swear they're like the greatest band ever. They don't strike it that way with me. But there are 2 or 3 records that I really do have to have. And I'll tell you, this is right here is, to me, is the best record they ever made. Especially, you know, it's got the hits. And, you know, going back to me not caring as much about the pressings as I used to, it's got one of those Super Saver stickers on it. I don't care. Record's clean. Sounds great. Next up, as I kept on digging, After the Gold Rush by Neil Young. Second favorite Neil Young record behind Harvest for me. Guys, this is just a phenomenal record. And of course, if you want to talk about singer-songwriters, he's among the upper echelon. Only Love Can Break Your Heart, Southern Man. I mean, this is just a masterclass record. And Neil Young is a masterclass artist. Dual citizenship. A lot of people, I don't know if you know that. Dual citizenship between the United States and Canada. Next up, guys, I love Patti Smith. I love Patti Smith. And this is from Patti Smith Group. It's Easter. Love the record. Love everything by the Patti Smith Group. And yeah, that's basically what I've got. I'm buying up every Patti Smith title I see these days, because I used to have damn near all of them. And then of course I got on my, when I settle in on something, guys, when I settle in on a goal, I really settle in on it. And I settled in on that, on the rare jazz pressing thing for a long time. And like I said, I'm not done. I'm just not seeking them out quite as much as I used to. And I'm now, when I reacquire these great records, my goal is to keep them. So in the days of trading all of these pressings for my rare jazz, those days are over. If I can't afford it, I can't afford it. And that's basically where I'm at now. Next up is one that I've wanted for a long time. Jazz, baby. And it's not a rare jazz title, but damn it, it's a great jazz title, because everything by Herbie Hancock usually slaps pretty well. It's Fat Albert Rotunda by Herbie Hancock, still in the shrink, which, you know, you guys know I don't normally care about that. But the way I used to rip it off, I don't really do that anymore. Not really, as long as it's clean shrink. If it's shredded up shrink that's just been kept on there just so somebody could say it's in the shrink, then no, that shit's got to go. But if it's on there nice and neat and clean, why not? And the lineup on this one speaks for itself. Herbie Hancock, piano and electric piano. Joe Henderson, alto, flute, and tenor. Johnny Coles, trumpet and flugel. Garnet Brown, trombone. Tootie Heath, drums. Buster Williams, acoustic bass and electric bass. This is a masterclass. If you haven't seen it, you ever get a chance, time to jump on. Next up, I love everything affiliated with Curtis Mayfield and the Impressions, or, you know, I just do. And so, not to say that I buy everything that they were ever on. I won't go that far, but I know the good ones. I know the great ones, and there's a lot of them. And this is Curtis Mayfield, Back to the World, and this is one of my favorites. I like the album cover. Still resonates with me to this day, and should probably resonate with most of the world to this day. And it's just some really great and really funky music. And did anybody ever have a better falsetto than Curtis Mayfield? My favorite. Maybe you got one you like better. Curtis Mayfield's is my favorite. Next up, Simon and Garfunkel, Bridge Over Troubled Water. Again, this is another one I bought in the shrink, and it's nice and clean shrink, so I'll probably leave it. But man, Bridge Over Troubled Water. Cecilia's on here. The Boxer's on here. Baby Driver's on here. Man, what a great record. And it's wonderful stuff. And raised in a household, my dad loves Simon and Garfunkel. So again, was raised up. One of the records that my parents left to me, and left to me. My parents are both still alive. Gave to me, because I just got into vinyl so much, and they were just sitting in the house. My parents didn't even have a means to play them. They just kept the records for the memories, I guess. But as soon as I got into them the way that I got into them, they gave me theirs. And while they're all beat to hell, I still like to have them. So they didn't have this album, but they had their greatest hits. So next up is actually I want to say my favorite Bruce Springsteen record, honestly. Yeah, I think so. It's The River. I mean, you know, there's so many ways that you could go. Favorite Bruce Springsteen records, but man, my favorite Bruce Springsteen song is Hungry Heart. One of my favorite things about Hungry Heart is he doesn't really sound like Bruce Springsteen on that song. It doesn't sound like a Bruce Springsteen song. You get on side 2, track 1 of this record, and all of a sudden he breaks out that catchy ass song, which, you know, would be a hit on the radio today, I believe. And it's like, where the hell did that come from? But it's phenomenal. It's my favorite my favorite Boss song, and out of so many classics. Next up, I've owned at least 10 copies of this album. I've had a Japanese press. I've had a Mo-Fi. I've had 2 Mo-Fis. I've had original press. I've had an original press with the poster. I bought it just because it had the poster, which, you know, I never hung it up or anything or had it framed. I never did any of that. I just thought it was cool to have one that had the poster. This is me in my crazier days. Not that there's anything wrong with buying the poster, but imagine John Lennon. Phenomenal record. You know, of course, this Plastic Ono Band, if you're going to have 2 John Lennon records, those are the ones to have. I mean, that's just all there is. It's this one. It's this one in Plastic Ono Band. And Crippled Inside, I think, is my favorite tune on the whole record. Because I'm not trying to be too obvious by picking Imagine. But Imagine is one of the greatest songs ever written. Who are we kidding? Next up is Anytime I Can Find a Jimi. Jimi Hendrix, Band of Gypsies. And man, what more do I really need to say? It's a masterclass of musicianship, honestly. Those of you who don't have it in your collection need to have it. But yeah, it's just, like I said, masterclass of musicianship. And the next one, I love this young woman. I don't know how young she is these days, but she was young when I heard her for the first time. It's Julian Baker's Sprained Ankle. I love this record. I had, I think, a copy off of her website that I think had some kind of splatter vinyl or something like that back when this album came out, I believe. But it was one, you know, an exclusive pressing to her website that I just bought because I just wanted the music. And then it turns out it went and became worth some money. So, you know, I traded it for some jazz. And guys, I'm probably getting ready to throw this bitch on the platter like now. I love this record by Julian Baker. And I love everything she's been affiliated with. So, new record come out recently. I talked about it on one of my videos. Country-ish type record. I dig. Not as much as I dig this, though. This is a beautiful record. And that's it. So as you guys can see, I came out of there, spent a decent amount of money, and left some stuff behind. That's the important thing. Left some stuff behind. There were a few things where it's like, I'll come back for that, or I can find that again later, or yada, yada, yada. I mean, I had to make some decisions, so hopefully I make it back this week. That would be great. And I can grab up some more of their inventory. And I spend you know, time in Rock Hill still, even though I don't work there anymore and I don't live there, but close to home, and my daughter does gymnastics there. So it's an hour and a half a week, 3 hours a week, excuse me, that I have in Rock Hill, in which I have to be in Rock Hill so my daughter can practice gymnastics. That shop's 5 minutes up the road. So they're gonna see me weekly. So next time I go in, I already know I'm gonna come back with some awesome stuff. So anyway, once again, keep this video under 20 minutes. I hope all of you guys are listening to some great tunes, spending time with family, as always. And if you live anywhere near Rock Hill, South Carolina, please pop in on Ramble on Records. You will not be disappointed. Great shop, great business, ran by great people. Again, you will not be disappointed. Until next time, until next video, keep dropping that needle, you guys.